What is up, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. So I was out trail riding a few weeks back and ran into a little bit of an issue, we could call that. It was a very narrow spot in between a tree and a rock, and I kind of got a little bit of the rock like on it, and it pushed me up against the tree. So I'll probably show a picture, and that's what I ended up. The inside looks a lot worse. I think that tint's helping it hide the damage. So this is what we're working with, and yeah, this is the second time it has actually happened on this side. The previous time I was a little luckier, window didn't break, but I was up against a tree, so it might be the driver, who knows. Anyway, we're gonna go ahead and hopefully have a better fix for this. I did some investigating online and came across a lot of Gullwing videos, and I really liked the way it looks. Hopefully it doesn't take away too much visibility, but there were a few things I did not like. All of them open upwards, which is nice, like to reach in and whatnot, but I'm gonna do it a little bit different. I'm gonna make it open down, and hopefully I can make it to where I can also open it all the way to reach in. Well, I'm hoping I can put in a Milwaukee box in here, and I could probably store small stuff. I was thinking probably throwing first aid kit stuff in there, little tiny accessories, nothing heavy. The materials that I ended up going with, so I have a buddy of mine that has a scrapyard, and he said he had this old sign. It's pretty beat up. I was kind of hoping it still had the picture on it, but no, it's done. So I'm gonna need to sand this down. It's aluminum, it's a little dented up, but I was thinking for what I'm using it, this will work perfectly. And also it was free. Another thing I ended up buying was this rubber seal that will go on the inside. Once I pull this window out, it should go on the inside. I'll show you guys. I had these as random bolts and nuts. I also bought these stainless steel rivet nuts. I have a riveter already that I'll be using, and I also bought these washers with bolts. Probably not going to use the washers, but I'll end up using bolts. Thread lock, I'm going to use that. And I already had this rubber mat, which I'll be using to cut and water seal these. So these are my hinges that are going to go on the bottom. They're all plastic. The ones I had seen that people use they didn't seem as heavy duty, and they also seem a little loose. These ones are pretty tight. So I got two of those that'll go on the bottom, and I went with these lockable, I don't even know what they're called anymore, man. Compression latches is what they're called. So they're adjustable, and you can tighten them the way you want. And to open them, I think this one's already open. No, it's not. There. So that's how the mechanism works. So I ended up going with this option so I didn't have to use struts. To me, the reason why I went this route is because I really didn't want any pressure outwards on the window. I wanted to seal and not have anything, I guess, any forces pushing up against this. And that's the reason I'm choosing this as opposed to your gas struts. And these are the rings that I'm going to use to support such bungee cords. So we'll fast forward. There's this one, there's this one over here, and then this. Now you guys won't need to remove it all, but I will go ahead and do it because I'm also replacing my tail light, which is broken. I was able to find one used. So this is what I use to remove all these special pins Toyota really loves. I don't know if you guys can see. There you go. Okay, there's a hook on the inside. You need to pull up. Fingers crossed that this box catches most of the junk. Okay, should probably be wearing gloves too. Golly, what a freaking mess. And look at that, I just cut myself too. So wear gloves as well. And please no comments on, oh yeah, now you're wearing gloves. So this is a piece I cut out of that big box. I had to cut two pieces. This smaller one, I just attached the piece of cardboard and I traced it from the inside of the cart, and this is what I ended up with. And then I removed this and put it on this bigger box, and I just kind of measured around and just kind of played with it, and this is what I ended up with. I put my template, I taped it on the sign. I went ahead and drew the line around, which I don't think I'll need. For this, I'm gonna use a jigsaw to cut around it. So what I ended up doing to kind of shape it here is I tried running it over, I tried standing on it with a tube on the bottom, and what actually worked was laying it on the ground and hammering it. So if I needed it to curve this way, I would just hammer it on this side, and then it kind of slowly would curl its way up, and I kind of just worked it until it fit the best. It's still not fitting the greatest, but right now I'm just gonna kind of put this on and then go from there. Now here, I got this piece of rubber that I used for the wheel wells at some point, and I had some left over, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it, trim it, just so it kind of works as a water repellent, hopefully. So here comes the part that I am most excited about. I was thinking about mounting a pack out, which I have a setup in my garage. I just went ahead and took a panel off because I'm too cheap to buy another one. So it looks like we're gonna have plenty of workspace to mount it wherever I like. I think I'm trying to do it as center as possible. Went ahead and got the lock set. The idea is I'm gonna mount this here, and I was thinking about doing two, but I'm pretty sure one will be plenty. I'm gonna mount it, see how it does. Worst case, I just mount the other one on this side. My Rivet tool attachments arrived. $50, so keep that in mind because I was using the M4 size. And that's all I could find for this brand riveter. Bit of a bummer, but that's fine. I might use it for the future. That's what we're looking like on this side. Now I just need to get this side done. Now I need to get another one of these D-rings mounted up here. Well, let's hope this isn't too noisy. Ooh. Well, we're on to the last steps, guys. I'm gonna pull this all apart and I'm gonna sand both sides down as much as possible. We're trying to get it as smooth as I can. If you guys buy a brand new sheet of aluminum, you don't have to worry about that. But I have a guy that he was willing to just wrap this part. He said he just charged me $10 for it. I was in between that or painting it. So that's gonna work out really good for me. I'm kind of trying to keep this as cheap as possible, which it really hasn't been that cheap. Went ahead and pushed this all back together. Now the plan here that I have is I'm gonna go ahead and with a Dremel trim around where the D-ring comes out. I have to trim a little spot where the top lock fits on each side. Since this guy is just taking forever, I just want to take a minute and add a couple things. Most of the things I bought on Amazon, like the weather stripping, the compression latches, the tie down anchors, the bolts, and the rivet nuts. The nylon hinges I did buy off of Boat Outfitters. It's like marine grade, some special whatever plastic. I did add links to most of the items in the description. And I did not add the pack out mount or the box on, since it'll probably be cheaper to just buy it at Home Depot or like a Northern Tool, something like that. I also want to tell you guys, I ended up spending about $250 total, including the Milwaukee box and the mount. Without that, it would probably be a little under $200. But if you guys decide to go and buy your own sign, I would probably take that into consideration. So check out the Amazon links in the description. So I went ahead and marked where this stuff is hitting right here, and on the other side I'm going to start here. So my levers actually lean against metal, I guess. There you have it, gang. That's what the inside looks like. This is the outside. There are a few bubbles because this is just like a regular wrap. The guy charged me like 10 bucks to do it, so it's kind of what you'd expect. It looks pretty good really for a homemade deal, but I kind of made it slightly tighter for when I add stuff to this box. I'm not gonna add much. I'd say gloves, first aid kit, something like that. But this comes undone. If I want to reach in for whatever, since the swing outs aren't as easy to open, I guess one of the cons of having swing outs, but I can reach pretty much the passenger side pretty well. There you have it, guys. I am going to do a quick little test with a pressure washer just so I can show, make sure it's 100% waterproof. So we did get a little bit of water kind of around the middle where there's not as much pressure, but my mom, she was like in there with a pressure washer, so I tried just lightly and we didn't get any water in here, so should be pretty good with just regular rainwater. I'm not a big car wash guy. I normally just wash it at home, so I should be pretty good. So there you have it, gang. There she is, all done.